We have a leading indicator that no one is really talking about. This one will certainly have a major impact on many, many markets, positively and negatively. What is it? Let's find out. Is that right? Team, as you know, we talked about the 2025 housing wildcards earlier this year, and I must say, I'm so happy that we did. The market has perplexed many economists for several years, and we don't claim to be economists, but we do love this business and work to study and better understand it every single day. And I say this humbly, we kind of nailed it with the wild cards in that show, and I want to revisit one today. We did talk about the removal of the CFPB, and many said it couldn't or wouldn't happen, and we're already seeing that, and it's only been a few short weeks. Yes, it's technically still around, but the offices are closed and workers were asked to stand down. Speaking of federal workers, number 2 on our 2025 wildcard list was jobs and employment. We talked about the impact this will have on housing, and once again, we're already seeing this play out. One interesting thing to watch and one major leading indicator that will impact all markets, including ours, is the reduction of government workers. This isn't a political show, guys, so please, let's not take it there in the comment section, but the current administration and the Department of Government Efficiency is working overtime and, quite frankly, finding a lot of opportunities to save Americans money and improve our overall efficiency. One kind of funny example is how we currently process federal retirement. It's done by paper held in a limestone mine in Pennsylvania, and due to many constraints, including the elevator's ability to physically move the paperwork upstairs, can't make this stuff up, the government is limited to how many people they can retire, limited to about 10,000 a month, and it takes 700 plus workers to process all of this. Now, we all know that a company like ADP or Workday could take this over instantly and digitize all that paper and remove the need to manually process it all. The good, a more efficient process. The bad, 700 plus people are out of a job. And that's the leading indicator that we're talking about today. 700 people doesn't sound like a lot, but keep in mind, this is just one example of our government leveraging a 30-year-old strategy, processing paperwork manually, when most of the world went digital decades ago. It remains to be seen how many examples like this DOGE will find. Already, it's estimated there's about a reduction in federal workforce to the tune of 300,000 people. Now, nobody is advocating for American unemployment, but this is a result of the lack of government creativity and evolution. You can see this already playing out, and guys, we're not even out of the first inning here. This is just getting started. Check this out. Orange reflects the reduction in federal workforce, and to better understand the impact, this is January's numbers. Government jobs were number 3 overall, and all of last year, government job creations were number 2 overall for job creations. That is what we're talking about. That number will and is already changing. It could go from a job creator to a job eliminator. And again, this is just getting going. As we're filming, HUD, who directly impacts housing, is being looked at as well, and it's estimated that they too will have a 50% reduction in their workforce. They currently have 9,600 people, so add another 4,800 to the list. And what's interesting is the makeup of these people. Average age is mid to late 40s, and many of these are homeowners and will be reintroduced back into the workforce, forced to contend and compete against younger college graduates who are already finding it difficult to find a well-paying job that isn't automated or performed by AI. And that's both sides of it. I think we can all agree that we should identify government waste and lack of efficiency. After all, the government is ran with our tax dollars. And if they can run it more efficiently, we don't have to tax ourselves so much. That's a great thing. And don't forget the financial impact as well. We don't have to print or sell as many treasuries to pay for it all. This will bring down rates for many Americans, more affordable car payments, credit cards, and yes, you guessed it, more affordable housing payments and lower rates all the way around. But everything comes at a cost, and this will mean many Americans are out of the federal workforce. Can they find new jobs while they're in their late 40s? How will this impact the younger generation as they continue to elbow their way into the workforce? Will the lack of federal employment impact their ability to pay their house payment and other debts? That will remain to be seen, and it's also why we are calling this a major leading indicator that nobody's really talking about except for us. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe! Thank you, G.I. Joe, for that great lesson, and only Gen Xers get that joke, and that's okay. Interesting stuff, to say the least. We are early on this, so let's watch this unfold together. Share it on social and your team meetings. This will have a major impact for sure, and we'll see you guys next week.